of product has been recalled and what happened to the company. Okay. A picture. Kak Madri, yang hantar kat saya tu dalam ni kan. Picture shown for illustration purpose only or actual purpose may vary. Thank you very much. Wahida. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, so what happened in product recall? What are the stages? Okay, please read about that because next week we will try to focus on that. Okay, not this week. And then loss of reputation because of this failure, because of that product recall, the company has lost the reputation. To build up the reputation, it takes decades, more than 10 years. Okay, 1 decade is 10 years. 2 decades is 20 years. If we see Coca-Cola, if we see Pepsi-Cola, if we see KFC or Kentucky Fried Chicken, or we see Kenny Rogers was the KRR. Okay, the bigger KRR is bigger than KFC actually in the States, in the United States. How long does that company need to build up their reputation? Mercedes, or in their own word, in German is Mercedes. In English is Mercedes. A BMW or BMW in German. Or Proton. Okay. How long does the time that the company needs to build up their reputation? And then they can lose that reputation in 1 day because of this product failure. Okay? And then they have to build it up again to make sure that people forget about it. Okay? One example in car industry, I mentioned about food industry after. In car industry is Mitsubishi. Okay, they have a problem with the Proton Perdana or Eterna. Mitsubishi Eterna, E-T-E-R-N-E-A. I think they have a problem with the brake. Because of that, Mitsubishi nearly bankrupt. Okay, and then Toyota, they have a problem with Toyota Camry, the braking system. Because Camry in the US, it doesn't, the Camry do not use any cable. Okay, when you press on the brake, there's no cable that link the pressing pedal to the brake itself. It uses some wireless system, and then it fails. And then more, I think near to 100 or more than 100 people died because of that. And then it nearly bankrupted them. But because they're a big company and then they can do something else, they did strive it back. Okay? But nowadays they don't use that system anymore. What about food industry? What about food company? Okay? We have a big problem with ice block company back in the 90s. Nearly bankrupted them because of their product. A quarter of Malaysians have diarrhea. Okay? In the northern part of Malaysia, in the early 90s, not early 90s, late 90s, before the millennium. They have some outbreak because of contaminated water that has been used to produce these ice blocks. And then we sell it to the customer, and then the customer who consume those ice experience some severe diarrhea. Okay, and the company is based in Pulau Pinang. Okay, nearly bankrupted them, nearly. But because back then, and because Malaysian system also, we do not mention the name of the company. It's company X. Okay, please find out which company, because when I Google it, there's no story about that at all. Okay, we can see about we found some rats in Maggi, Yeah, we can still read that story in Google until today. But the thing about ice producing company or Atlas at that time in Penang, in Pulau Pinang, it's not in the internet anymore. So, but back then there's no other company that produce, maybe one or two companies that are producing these ice blocks or ice small ice blocks and ice cubes, sorry, small ice cubes. But nowadays there are a lot of companies that are producing those types of product. Maybe if somebody makes some boo-boo, a small mistake, they have to gulung tikar, maybe. But back then, because they're so big and there's no competitors, then they can survive. Okay? And we can also see what another example is High Five. I don't know what happened to High Five, but that company used to be one of the big competitor in bread, isn't it? Loaf bread, roti sandwich, kan? Apa nama company dia? Apa nama company dia sebut ni?
High five.
High Five. Okay, that is the product. The product name is High Five. The company's name is not High Five. It's something else. I can't remember. Okay, we used to bring our students to a factory visit there to visit the company. Okay? And then there are a lot of, and we also have some cyber troopers who really not presenting the internet system very well. Okay, they're saying bad things. Yeah? And then sometimes because of that bad things, it can actually bankrupt the company. Yeah? But not in this case, in our case, but in some of the cases. But for a food company like High Five, or a big company, one of the competitors in bread producing company in Malaysia suddenly went bankrupt or not producing anything anymore. So it's showing us that external failure cost is a severe problem. A severe problem. Okay, it's a big problem. When you have this problem, the company might go down. So you have to make sure that we don't have this in the system at all. Okay? In order to prevent from this internal and external failure cost to occur, is to make sure that we have a very solid prevention and appraisal cost implemented. Okay, just now I was explaining about this loss of reputation. Okay? If you have went somewhere and then you've come back. Okay, all these slides afterward are just trying to express the importance of having understand or having execute the best technique to make sure that we gain profit and we don't lose anything. Okay? So here is just some definition or some points of explaining what is prevention, external appraisal, and also internal failure cost. Okay? This is just a statistic showing us if we put low amount of money here, and then we will lose a lot of money here. Okay? Okay, I've just mentioned about this four cost just now, the appraisal cost, the prevention cost, the internal failure cost, and also the external failure cost. The same four costs that I've mentioned just now can be grouped into different types of groups. Okay? Here, there are several examples. Okay, you can put the cost of quality, you can group it into two, the poor quality and also the good quality. And then for the poor quality is the failure cost, and for the good quality is the appraisal cost.